Okay, we're gonna put this over here this morning. Okay, that's blocking my camera.
Okay, choose on top. This is you. Big and soft.
Thank you. Good morning, good morning, good morning. We are about to go live. ZeBay behind the scenes, 316th episode this morning, and we're broadcasting live from here at Denny's. Denny's here in, I believe, Pikesville or
Towson.
Towson. Here,
Parkville.
Parkville. Yes,
Parkville.
we're here in Parkville this morning,
And they have
Parkville,
chicken
Maryland.
and eggs. Look at that.
Oh no, gorgeous. So look, thank you. So we are here live, and this morning's we're going to be talking about a couple of things this morning. I know some people um, like for me to stay on the financial tip or on one topic, but when it comes to news, when it comes to news, um, there's something happening every second of the day. So it's not just about finances. And another thing is in the financial world, a lot of variables, a lot of things play into your personal finances. And a lot of people don't like to look at that fact that everything that we do evolves and revolves around finances, personal finances. So this morning, we're talking about what Wall Street is doing this morning, still in the correction state this morning, but the S&Ps are now out of correction mode, and they last night closed at almost 7 points. 7%, close to 7%, and that's usually the trend, the annual trend over the past decade, as, with the exception of last year, has been about 7.75% return on the participants' money. Okay, so this morning we're not going to be streaming from Facebook this morning. We're streaming specifically from YouTube this morning because we're going to make sure that we can um, get our we're going to make sure that we can get our presence on YouTube and be consistent with it. So we're streaming from YouTube this morning, and I'm just going to say good morning. I know a lot of you are looking at a lot of you are on our Facebook, and all messages are visible. And what is that? Nope. So even though we will put this out there, we will put out the live YouTube, and we will send that over and share it with Facebook. Um, Matter of fact, I'm going to take just a moment because even though my phone is giving me the blues this morning, um, usually Verizon is very good, but every now and then they try to pop that Infinity on me, and I'm not trying to sign into Infinity because I didn't subscribe to their Infinity. Okay, I did not subscribe to that. So why do I want to cost myself more money when I have total unlimited internet service? And so this morning, we also want to talk about the police officer in Philadelphia that's been indicted on drug charges, but they had known connections to some police officers here in Baltimore City. Okay, look, I put it out there yesterday that we are dealing with two evil forces here. It's not just the gang leaders and the members of the gangs here that's peddling their poison, but this goes way beyond it. We have corrupt police officers in our police force here in Baltimore City. And so they're attempting to weed those individuals out because the FBI is now involved. And I know that Baltimore, this corruption goes so high up that Baltimore cannot police its police officers. They've gone through 7 police commissioners over the past 2 or 3 years. Are you kidding me? And it's so disgusting and so vicious to the point where the last commissioner stepped down 2 or 3 weeks ago. He said, "Look, this corruption is going so high. I hope they can get it. They can actually go after the corrupt individuals." But he was stepping down. He was not going to throw in his ballot to run or to be appointed as the permanent police commissioner here for Baltimore City. So look, I thank God that at least he's in the midst. He's here in our city now because a lot is getting ready to be exposed. Okay. And I kept saying that Baltimore is on the Fed's radar anyway. Okay. And now they're taking action, especially after the Freddie Gray, when you had the young people uprising. That was no riot, folks. That was a straight up uprising. Okay? Uprising. Okay? There's a difference between a riot and an uprising. Okay? And so, look, I'm hoping, just like with yesterday, I did actually took a video yesterday. I didn't go live with it because I wanted to continue to investigate this particular story. I wanted to investigate it more thoroughly first. But I will put it out there like this. Anytime we could be driving on Pennsylvania Avenue, and I think that's Fenton. Where was we at? Pennsylvania Avenue, and I think Fenton Avenue. But it's over by the schools, and there's a rec center over there that they closed, that they said, that the city said they were going to get and turn it into a shelter for the homeless. And I look, I'm not, that's why I need to be mayor here. You know, God has really touched my soul and spirit to run. So I am exploring running because when I see an opportunity to do something a greater work, then I'm taking it. You know, this mayor doesn't have a clue, does not have enough vision. Okay, and what she does is she pulls from other people's visions, but she won't even bring those people in. Sometimes she'll bring certain individuals in. I see that she's doing that with people that she see I'm working with. Okay, that has some type of vision, but you have to really give them the opportunity to use their vision and implement their plan and fund it. Okay? And that's where they fall short. They don't want to fund. They want to fund people just in their circle. And look, I'm not going to say it's just the status quo because I've been here now long enough where this is you guys here in Baltimore City, period. Y'all have a circle where hey, I grew up with these individuals. They live on my block. We're from the same community. You know, we've done, spent our lives together. And y'all don't even want to add people to your circle. Okay? Which to me is insanity because it doesn't give you an opportunity to even grow, to self-improve. Because God works through people. He will send certain people in your life for his purpose and for a reason, and it's to benefit you. It's to benefit you, to help you to grow, to help you mature in the spirit. So if you're not willing to show love and embrace the positive people that God put in your lives, then shame on you. You're going to continue to be stagnated. What can I say? And I look at it this way. I'm not mad at you. If I don't develop not one friend, not one permanent, sincere friend here, it's all well with my soul. Why? Because all I'm doing is allowing God to work through me. That's all I'm doing. You know, I was fine being in the financial world and just doing what I do. But God touched my heart and he's flowing. I'm flowing with him. He's not flowing with me. I'm flowing with him. So because he has me here promoting Baltimore City, we're not going to elude away from the corruption here in Baltimore City. We need to go after all the corrupt powers to be. and because it needs to end. Look, the rain is over. I'm just putting it out there. The rain is over. The rain, the stronghold that the officials that in certain circles have had on Baltimore City for decades is over. See, this even stems from the O'Malley reign as governor. Because he was so sophisticated, he knew how to hide the numbers. In other words, fudge the numbers. But believe me, when I worked for the Republican National Committee, I saw a whole lot about him and about his numbers. Okay, and so because Congress and the Senate control those numbers on the federal side, they control how much they're going to allocate out to each state every month, and it's determined by what are the greater needs for the people in that state. I'll give you a prime example. For Seattle, Washington, for Washington State, they get newly hundreds of millions of dollars annually to end and get on top of domestic violence. Okay? But they give so much money and they do so much for the victims. Check this out. They will get the victim a new place to live, a car, a phone, transportation, a job. They do all that for the victim. Oh, it's serious. That's why, look, they're funded by the federal side with hundreds of millions of dollars, if not billions of dollars, annually to curb domestic violence. To the point where some of the women out there actually will pull a man in from off the street and claim to be abused. Well, I mean, seriously, this has happened to a couple of people that I've interviewed in Seattle, Washington. Okay? And so, look, a lot of people will do anything for money. So money is not the root of all evil. It's people that are the root of all evil and what they do with the money. Okay? So I don't know what's going on with Facebook this morning. But Facebook is not letting me stream, and it's okay, because we still are on YouTube, okay? We're still on YouTube, and all we'll do is just publish what's going on YouTube, okay? So, good morning, Baltimore City, once again, and I finally do have live up. So we're going to be inviting some of our regular viewing audience as well as some new audience, some new invites coming out this morning because we want to continue to have ZeBay behind the scenes being the voice of the people here in Baltimore City. We want to continue to promote all the positive things and the positive, talented people here in Baltimore City. But our main principle for even having and creating and producing ZeBay behind the scenes is to educate all Americans about personal finances, something that we never get educated on in our public schools or our private schools or even in college. If you are a finance major, you're going to learn a lot about corporate finances. You're going to learn a lot about the economy. You're going to learn now a lot about global finances, but you're not going to learn about how to deal with your own personal finances. So we felt the need to produce a show such as this in order to begin to educate Americans. There are solution-based products in America now that 90% of Americans don't even know exist. But it would help them well to prepare for the next stock market crash. Now we're going to see how well the Wall Street and the stock market does between now, because this is our highest spending season. We're entering into the country's highest consumer spending season, and this is where the numbers matters. This is how either good, great, or poorly retail corporate America does. So this morning, we're talking about taking some solution-based products and using them in order to, all you're doing is upgrading, folks. 90% of our people, clients that we work with and that we educate and that we assist, they already have life insurance. Most of them, look, 170 million Americans have life insurance. But guess what? They 70 million don't have enough coverage and they're inadequately covered, and then the other 100 million people are you a large portion, 90% of them don't have not upgraded to the new revolutionary product called Living Life or accelerated benefits known by some other life insurance companies that they offer now. The insurance industry has changed, to Warren Buffett and the chairman of National Life Group, 170-year-old company. And Warren Buffett came out of his comfort zone and looked at what happened during the 2008 stock market crash. And what happened was a lot of baby boomers, over 70 million baby boomers, lost over $1.8 trillion in their 401ks, in their thrift savings, in their 405s, their 457s. So they had to come out with a solution-based product that will now allow all Americans that qualify, because everyone's not going to qualify. I've been able to get 90% of my people qualified, but to now become participants in the S&P 500s. Why? Because it's a safer vehicle. You ever heard the saying, the rich keep getting richer and the poor keep getting poor, and the middle class keeps falling off the rolls of the middle class every year? And it's because most of your money that you invest in is in the stock market. When you have a 401k, it's invested in the stock market. Yes, they diversify within that market by, you may have emerging markets. Some portion of that investment goes into emerging markets, meaning up and coming types of technology or biomedicine, or even something that's going on over there in Europe. Okay, emerging industries, such as solar energy. Is it considered a emerging industry? Okay, if you look at just talking about even companies that have been around for over 100 years, like Sears and Roebuck, over 150 years, and now they're going bankrupt. They're going bankrupt. Okay, they're closing few dozen stores that they have left in America. They're closing them down. Verizon, major. Verizon is laying off. I think they did their first rounds of layoff of over 5,000 senior management. And those individuals have been with Verizon 10, 15, 20 or more years. And so what are they going to do? A lot of them are either headed toward their 50s or in their 50s or older. And guess what? They've lost money just like 70 million of us in their 401ks and in their pension funds. And now the market is falling again. It's really trying to correct itself. The S&Ps have corrected themselves. This quarter is going to make a major difference on the turn of the market, whether it's going to continue to plummet, okay, or whether they're going to be able to stable out, whether they're going to be able to kind of reach that level of equilibrium. We'll see, because we know that that's the first thing you learn in economics 101, microeconomics 101. There is no such thing as equilibrium, because you have to give up something on one end of the financial spectrum in order to gain on another end. But we did have a good report, 5 million jobs, over 5 million jobs have been created. But look, who are we going to get to fill those jobs? A lot of baby boomers after 2008 have started remaking themselves. And a lot of millenniums, they are already into the technology and savvy, and to the point where they create their own money making machine, even using the internet. A lot of the just smart ones and the ones that are tired of being tied down to depending on a job. Okay, they want to be in better control of their finances. People are getting tired of spending $100,000. There was a young Japanese young woman that graduated from college just this year and owed $100,000 in student loans. Well, guess what? She felt so stressed out. She moved to Japan to avoid paying the student loans. And so that right there indicated that Americans aren't even educated on what to do when they even get in student loan debt. We're going to have a series about how to deal with your student loans. Okay? So that's it for this morning. Once again, we're going to give our condolences and our prayers go up for Sheena Smith and her family who lost who lost her nephew due to gun violence here in Baltimore City on Halloween night. And I just was speaking and interviewing this young man, and now he's been murdered. I just feel for the young people here in Baltimore City. I feel for parents here in Baltimore City. So we have got to be proactive, and ZeBay wants to do. I want to promote a 2-day working summit to bring the police officers, the feds, as well as gang leaders together. Something that was done by Jim Brown back in the 90s, the first one ever done. It was a gang summit, and he had all the gang leaders across the United States to meet in one neutral location, which was Detroit. And guess what? It really had a major impact. A lot of those kids started coming together, producing music together. A lot of them. A lot of them tried to leave the gangs. And I'm listening to where I said, I don't mean to. My question is, why did people even, why did, very well, why did people even get, why did people, why did kids even get hooked up with gangs? Why did they even feel the need to go out here and find strangers to be their family? Think about it. So my question has to be directed at the parents. We got to be very careful and mindful that children are children. And they can't be left home at age 12 and 13 and 8 and 9 years old while we go out and work. Somebody's got to make the sacrifice and raise the children. It's real simplistic. It's very simplistic. Now, I know us women are liberal. We're liberated. We have been. I was one of those pioneer women. I'm 60 years old. I was one of those pioneer women to even break women into professional boxing, becoming the first female to enter that arena in 1987. So now we have over 1,000 women that are in professional boxing. And so, I get it. But guess what? It's not worth the souls and the minds and the molding of our young people, of our children, of our babies. Okay? And school kids, the educational institutions cannot be responsible for molding our children's character and personality. Seriously. So we need to protect our children more. It has to start at home first. At home first. It must start at home first. Okay? So you guys have a blessed day. Be a voice of reason to a young person today. And make sure that you inbox me. Those of you that can't read your quarterly statements, because I don't care how intellectual we are, and how many degrees we have. Personal finance is not something you learn even in college, on the college level. So you only learn this information if you are rooted and if you're in the financial world. And I've been in that arena, in that industry for over 32 years. So inbox me if you want to take us to sit down, take a look at your quarterly statement, see if you're prepared for the next crash, see if you are using the right strategies to save and build for your retirement. So next time, people, I love you all. Bye bye. Share the video.
I ain't paying for. How much we pay for this thing?
Hmm?
How we pay for this?
Keep.
What do you think?